Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. To everybody that's new, welcome. I'm Becky. If you guys are coming back, then welcome back. Thank you for the support. But yeah, so this video is just going to be about a few facts that I shared about myself on social media, and a lot of people had questions and did want me to talk about it, so I decided why not make a video. You know, if you guys are ready to jump in, go ahead and get you something to drink because it might be a long one. I might do a part 1, part 2. We will see. Just real quickly, if I am looking down, sorry, I did go ahead and make notes and whatnot, you know, just to kind of help me have more of a organized version for all these topics. So basically put 4 facts about me out there. First one is being a lacto-vegetarian for 12 years, being in the beauty industry and what it's been like, being part of the LGBTQ community and coming out. And the last one is relationships and self-worth and growth. So fact number 1 about me, I've been a lacto-vegetarian for 12 years. This was back in 2008. I live in a Hispanic household, so there's always a lot of meats. Like, we eat basically any type of, not animal, but it's basically a butcher's house at my mom's. So yeah, my mom loves to cook meat, seafood included. We would eat everything from mariscadas, shrimp cocktail, like just a lot of stuff, oysters, lobsters, crawfish, anything you name it. Growing up, I didn't really have a say but to basically eat what I was getting fed. Nothing against my mom. I think then I was like 14, 15, and it was kind of complicated because back then in 2008, not a lot of stuff was out, or as far as choices like meat replacement or anything like that. You had to get your source of protein based on like almond milk, you know, chickpeas, nuts, stuff that actually naturally grow from the ground up, or like Greek yogurt. I think the only thing that was out was tofu. Thankfully, I was never scared to experiment in the kitchen, and so I had to get down and just test the waters, cook it different ways, season it different ways, and just stuff like that, pair it with different things. Thankfully, I've always loved fruits and veggies, so it wasn't a hard thing for me to do. So along the years, the meat replacements and protein source for vegetarians or vegans did grow. Now I feel like the world's more mentally open about it. Not a lot of restaurants are, but I've always found my ways to either meat supplement or just anything that I could replace it with, or just even ask for like a dish without the meat. Back then there wasn't many meat replacements, and so you kind of had to like figure it out on your own. I remember when I first told my mom about switching to being a lacto-vegetarian, she was like, she gave me the weirdest look. She was like, what? And she was just confused, like as far as like what was I supposed to sustain myself on. And yeah, it was kind of hard at the beginning because I had to kind of eat a lot of sides like pastas, rice, beans, like, you know, there wasn't really much options for me back then. And mind you, I was only like 14, 15, so like what kind of teenager knows like how to cook a whole meal? Not me. Like, I wasn't that advanced in the kitchen or anything like that. So little by little, I kind of started picking up like recipes, how to mix and match. I just had to kind of wing it, honestly. A lot of people always ask me, how is it that you know like how to, you know, put stuff together? Honestly, you're never gonna know until you go in the kitchen and do it. Yeah, it's been a fun journey. I was a size 14, 16, believe it or not, at that age. It was just bad. My breakouts, like my skin, I didn't really care for water. And then I remember that within my first 2 years of being lacto-vegetarian, it was just crazy to see, well, just the change that my body was going through, because when you're younger, your body works different, quicker and whatnot. It'll adjust, but the first 2 years, it was like I couldn't hold a size of pants or shorts. T-shirt, not really, but just like pants in general. Like, so I was a size 14, 16, and I automatically started like dropping. I couldn't hold a pant size. Like, I even went to 00 in Hollister sizing, and if you ever did shop at Hollister, you know how little that ran. I was not freaking out, but I was like, whoa, like what's going on? Little by little, I started, you know, finding out about other stuff and whatnot, and food. Believe it or not, nowadays it's so out there. If you go to Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, some HEBs, it just depends your store. That's originally where I always get my stuff from. I don't have a hard time like finding it. You'll always find it in either the frozen aisles, or they'll have like a small section where the fruits and veggies are, or you can get even like vegan cheese. There's so many brands out there. If you want to go into depth about the ingredients, each their own, yeah, there's a lot much more now than back then. And honestly, yeah, I do get the cravings, you know, where you're like, I wish I could be eating crawfish, like when crawfish season's in. It's not that bad. I think honestly, it's all like mental. If you are sticking to it, like it'll just become a natural thing after a while. You won't even feel like it's forced or a diet or whatever you want to call it. Normally, like at the beginning, maybe your first year, like months to a year, it'll be kind of hard because you're adjusting. It's new, you know, just like anything else. A lot of people would ask me, why not vegan? Why, you know, lacto-vegetarian? Let me just tell you, I love my cheese. Milk, I don't really drink like regular milk. I just drink almond, soy milk, and coconut milk. Yogurt, I only do Greek yogurt, plain Greek yogurt, and I add like my 2 stevia packs in there just to kind of add sweetness to it, so it won't be as bitter. I want to say when I was maybe 5 years in, I decided that I wanted to go ahead and consume eggs. I was trying to find ways to get my protein in, and I did try, you know, protein bars, protein shakes, protein whatever. I would try to put it in there, replace it, whatever, and it was just not too fulfilling for me. I wanted to find another protein source that I could take, and so I decided to put eggs into my diet. Currently would say I wouldn't go back to eating meat. I'm perfectly fine being a lacto-vegetarian. And if you are hesitant to try it, I would say just go for it. You don't lose nothing by trying it. You will feel different as far as body, you know, physically. Just try it. You don't lose nothing. For anyone who is willing to go there down that path, I would say take it. I feel like your journey would be so much more advanced, and you have more access, and it'll be an easier journey if you were to try it nowadays. So if you guys have any questions, just go ahead and comment down below. If you guys want to share anything, or if you guys are willing to take that journey, let me know, and I like to know. So second fact about me is being in the beauty industry and what it's been like. Let me look at my notes because I did make some notes over this. I went to cosmetology school, and it was literally right after I graduated high school. That was back in 2010. One thing that got me into it, or caught my attention in the beauty industry, was because my mom was actually in beauty school, and she always used me as her guinea pig. So I always got curious with things that she would try on me and stuff like that. I did have a phase where middle school, high school, I did play around with my hair color a lot. I've had purple, I've had teal, I've had pink, I've had red. So crazy to think now. Hey, here we are. Yeah, that's kind of what attracted me to the beauty industry. I liked makeup, anything that had to do with it. I think honestly, if it feels like a natural thing and you enjoy being a people's person. Honestly, I feel like in the industry you have to be a people's person. It's been a roller coaster. I don't even know where to start. I have my thoughts together. I just feel like there's individually so many depths to that. When I started cosmetology school and I was only 18, it took me 2 years to complete my 1,500 hours. Once I hit that 1,000 hour period, it just pushed me to, you know, go full-time and finish those 500 hours that were left to complete the course. I had a classmate who she actually worked at a salon as a receptionist, and thankfully, word of mouth, you know, I was able to get into this company that I was working for. The pros and cons. Some of the pros are the field, you don't have to necessarily dress a certain way or anything like that. You are your own image, like how you carry yourself. Basically, you have to have your hair on point, your makeup on point, your outfit on point. You're meeting all types of people on a daily. You never know who you're gonna interact with or who's gonna be sitting in your chair. You always wanna carry yourself how you'd want someone to look at you. The pros is I got to meet a lot of wonderful people. So the thing is, everybody's different. So it's different personalities all around. You get to connect with people. Sometimes you have fallouts with people. You know, you're not always going to get along with people. It's part of the journey. You will lose people, you will gain people. As far as clients, I think it's amazing because you meet a stranger and then you build a relationship. It's kind of like you go on a date and you're having to, you know, get to know this person and stuff like that, and you go into depth in the meanwhile process of making them feel good and look good. So I've honestly enjoyed every single one of my clients that I've sat on my chair. I wouldn't change it for the world. It's a fun field. You learn a lot. You go through a lot. If someone's interested, I always tell them, go for it. If it doesn't work out for you, it's something that you'll have a backup on, you know. You don't have to necessarily just do hair, you know, in the beauty industry. There's so many more categories in the beauty industry. There's lashes, there's barbers, there's nail techs, there's facialists, there's everything. So I think it's just about trying out the waters. If you are a people's person, I always say that, because you have to be all ears. You're basically kind of like a therapist. Like, you're not having to, but you're gonna be in an appointment that's going to be all ears for your client. Sometimes you're gonna hear some hard stuff. Sometimes you're gonna hear good stuff. Sometimes you're gonna hear a little bit of both. I think it's cool how it's relatable to someone, just a stranger, you know? I consider that benefits or the good side of the industry. Cons. I think you have those days of doubt. You start questioning what you're doing. Of course, your first 2 to 3 years is where you start building clientele, your work, you know, stuff like that. You take classes, you learn stuff, you pick up stuff, all these techniques and stuff. It takes time. It's hard, like, seeing that and getting discouraged, because some people can get lost and lose that drive that they have in them. I would say just block all that negativity and just know that it's just all part of what we're all going through. Everybody's been through it, you know, and people are only gonna go through it. It's completely normal. There's nothing wrong with having hardships. You're gonna have those blue days where you're like, I just wanna say, don't get discouraged, and know that it's fine. If you have a little bump on the road, it's fine. Like, just make sure you get back up. If you have a bad week, if you have a bad month, that's fine, because nothing will equal to what you have coming or your better days. Another question, how long have I been in the industry? I started back in 2013. I've been in the industry 6 going 7 years. Yeah, going on 7 years. I can't complain, honestly. It's been a roller coaster. So where have I been working? Where am I now? And over the years, I used to work for a company. I was there for 6 years. It was fun. Yeah, that's that. Where am I now? So I decided to put my big girl panties on in September. It was something that I had in mind for a few years, but you have that fear of failing, And you know, sometimes you gotta take that leap. You're either scared that you're not gonna be successful or it's not gonna be a big thing, but honestly, you're never gonna know. I would say if you're not happy somewhere, or like your work environment or anything like that, if you feel like it's toxic or anything like that, please leave. It's better off leaving, because there's so much stress and anxiety that will only haunt you at the end. Like, it only hurts you and your loved ones or the people around you. It's not worth the stress or just anything that interferes with your happiness, loved ones, or anything like that. Just make sure that you're happy, really. Don't get distracted. If you ever feel like you're not growing or anything like that, don't ever feel like you can't test the waters. You have to get away from that mindset. You can't think that, oh, I can't grow or do something else, you know? There's always so many more options and leaps that you go through, and I think it's probably one of the best choices that you can do as a human, putting your happiness first. I'm going on a year that I decided to be my own boss. I wanted to focus on self, everything. So I had to, in order to do that, I had to look at a lot of stuff that I felt like I wasn't growing or benefiting me financially, emotionally, physically. You know, everything goes along those lines. Like it will connect in all those aspects. I'm so happy that I took that leap, because now I can offer so much more to my clients. I have the best clients. I know that when I first started off on my own, I mentally had prepared myself, because I knew that it would be hard at the beginning, you know? It's just being realistic. You're not being a Debbie Downer or anything like that. Yeah, you can go in with the mindset that you're not gonna be successful, that your business isn't gonna make it or anything like that. Mentally, you have to prep yourself. You know, you're gonna have bad days, you're gonna have slow days and stuff like that, but it always shoots right back up. I was actually surprised that I had so many of my clients reach out to me after I decided to go on my own. I was surprised at how many people chose to follow me. I'm very grateful for my clients. They're the best. Honestly, I feel like individually I have a relationship with every individual, which I'm grateful for. My clients know who they are, and I'm very, very glad that I can offer that to my clients. It was just, I feel like as a customer or a client, when you're the professional, it should be more in your control to make the experience and make sure that your client is having that time and money worth. You know what I mean? It's just so much more to it. Just make sure that you value the ones that write out for you, basically. I'm just glad that I'm able to do more for my clients now. Aside from spending more time with them, I can, you know, offer way more stuff to them as well. I know that before everything was at a faster pace. I get it, money, chair hopping, in and out, like, but sometimes they will see that. They will see that you're stressing, that you're rushing. I just don't understand how a client or a customer, me, myself, in any service field, I wouldn't appreciate that. I wouldn't be pleased. I wouldn't want to pay for that service, honestly. Just stuff like that. Part of the reasons why I chose to take a whole different path. I have more me time. I get to do more stuff. If I want to go on vacation, I can take vacation. I don't have to ask someone. I don't have to go through someone, or I don't have to choose one holiday to spend with my families. I don't have to not be at birthdays or graduations or stuff like that. Just stuff that is real life stuff. It's not, oh, something that you can just shrug off and just pretend like stuff like that isn't happening, you know? I feel like everybody deserves to be happy, and if you're in a toxic environment, just go. Honestly, just go, don't stay. At the end, you're only hurting yourself and those around you. So we're gonna leave that there. Bro, I'm about to jump or fight this fucking lash because the inner corner is like
Ugh.